All right, everybody, Friday, May 14th. Tomorrow, I'm leaving for Arizona on my way to the Grand Canyon. I will be hiking on Monday from the North Rim to the South Rim, 24.3 miles, 11,000 feet of elevation change. This has been a personal goal of mine for a long time, so I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, I have been training. You know, like a couple of weeks ago, I told you about that hike I did in California, up to 10,000 feet. I'm at Mount San Antonio, sometimes called Mount Baldy, east of Los Angeles, hiking around here in the New York City area, in the parks around the city, you know the whole deal. So I'll be in the Grand Canyon on Monday. I'm going to try to video, you know, the whole thing or most of it, and I'll post it up on this channel. Big day in the market, big day. The correction is over. Actually, was not much of a correction at all. The market held all the support levels. Like, I've been sending this out to my subscribers every day, where the support levels were, and, you know, the market held like a rock. Now, there was some great buying opportunities. You know, I've said so many times, like, when the market goes down, you got to look at that as stocks on sale. You can get great companies, you know, world-class companies, when they go on sale like that. That's the thing. Like, in America, we are taught how to be savvy consumers. I mean, we have created, you know, the whole really discount retail buying experience. People, firms, retailers, they have to cater to, you know, our need for a discount, a bargain. Like, the thing that always cracks me up, and I talk about this whenever I give talks, I say, you know, if you look at investor behavior, it's 180 degrees opposite of consumer behavior. Like, consumers are really savvy. No matter what they buy, they want a deal. But when it comes to investing, they pay a premium and then they sell out when it's really cheap. Like, if you could just tweak that in your own personal investing style, like, you don't have to find the next Amazon. You don't have to find the next Apple. You don't have to find the next Google or the next Netflix or Tesla or whatever. Warren Buffett made the bulk of his fortune was made investing in boring industrial stocks. You know, Geico, Coca-Cola, things like this. But over time, and if you apply this concept of, you know, buying when there's value and having patience, that's the thing. Like, I've done so many videos on mental game and patience. Like, people just they want to make it big, like tomorrow, like next week. And that's just a crapshoot. That's gambling. I mean, go to Vegas if you want to do that. Sometimes it works out. Look, sometimes it works. Like, people say, oh, you don't play. I never ever play the lottery. It could go to $5 billion. I never play the lottery. You want to know why? Because I'm not going to win. And people say, well, Mike, somebody wins. And I say, yeah, but you are not going to win. When the odds are that astronomical against you, I mean, even $1, you might think, it's just $1. Come on. No, it's just silliness. I don't do it. Like the movie Wall Street, the first Wall Street, the second one really was no good. I bet on short things, or as close to short things as I can. You know? When something is selling at like a discount to its value, I mean, how can you not? Like, if you're walking down the street and somebody says, here, I'll give you 20 bucks for 10 bucks, or I'll give you 10 bucks for 5 bucks. Depends how much cash you have in your wallet. You're not going to go for that, and it's totally legit. This is what's happening. I mean, we had some of this week with the tech stocks. crazy, crazy sell-off. So anyway, I did a lot of buying this week. Now, as far as the inflation thing is concerned, number one, I said that commodity prices are peaking. And we're seeing this. We're seeing this in the price action of so many things, of lumber, of copper. Now, you know, longer term, I don't know. Like, you know, if we could have conditions, fiscal conditions, economic conditions, basic conditions that would imply higher prices over time. But right now, this run that we have been on, which was a pandemic-driven run, that's done, okay? And the lesson to be learned from this, I hope that you learn this lesson, is that the stimulus, the money printing, they're printing money, that in and of itself is not inflationary. Something has to be broken in the system, and what was broken was a global pandemic. I mean, that was not broken, but it caused the whole system to get broken, to get shut down. All right? Or you can have a situation where you have a monopolist that is continually raising prices by some means. And I talk about central banks. I always talk about central banks like people don't understand it. They think high interest rates squash inflation. And again, I say, well, look at Turkey. They have high interest rates. Look at Argentina. They have high interest rates. Look at the United States in the 70s until, what, 1980, 81. They kept raising interest rates. Paul Volcker, who was considered like the god of gods of central bankers. Why? I have no clue. But he drove inflation to 20% or 15, whatever it was. He drove interest rates all the way up to 20%, thereby pushing inflation up. And it was only when they started to cut interest rates that inflation came down, and that's when the dollar actually in that period, when they were driving interest rates up, the dollar was going down. And when they started to cut, the dollar was going up. I actually saw a headline today that said, is inflation the last hope for the dollar? Like, I looked at this and I'm like, oh my God, this is like Orwellian. This is like George Orwell. Like, what's good is bad, what's bad is good. Inflation is terrible for currencies and exchange rates. And there's this whole, you know, establishment of people out there who think like when we see higher inflation, a dollar is going to skyrocket because they think it's going to trigger a Fed response. Number one, the Fed is already telling us it's not going to respond. Actually, that's the thing, believe it or not, which is keeping the dollar from going down. Number two, if the Fed did respond with higher interest rates, what is that? It's higher price levels. I mean, to sit there and it shows you, I'm telling you right now, it shows you the degree of lack of understanding. It shows you the massive degree of lack of understanding out there in the financial media and also, frankly, among financial professionals. Because I see analysts basically saying the same thing. Like, they're hoping, praying for high inflation to save the dollar. Like, they want this dollar out. I see a lot of dollar bulls who, people, listen, high-placed people in Wall Street. Like leading analysts. Like inflation was a thing that helped currencies. Again, I'll use the Turkish example. The lira would be flying strong. The Argentinian peso would be flying strong. Give me any example of a country with high inflation and show me where their currency is super strong. I mean, it's ludicrous. It's freaking ludicrous. Folks, this is what's out there. Like, if you can't make money off of this, then you are in that tribe, you are in that mode of thinking, or I don't know, you're just lazy and you have no mental game. Like, you don't want to take their money. You want to sit and I guess read the headlines. I don't know. But listen, I know a lot of you, you're very intelligent, you're very smart. You got to think sometimes. Like yesterday or the other day, I talked about, you know, what Stanley Druckenmiller said about capital inflows. Like, okay, I'm buying a Toyota. Buy, Toyota dealer. I'll pay you when I find the capital inflows. In the meantime, I'll just run a deficit with you. Yeah, you think he's going to let you drive off with that car? The capital inflows happen at the transaction. Anyway, I did all that. All right, folks, listen. I may make a video tomorrow, over the weekend, but it's going to be a big, big, exciting trip. Think about me walking in the Grand Canyon. You know, there's a lot to gain, there's a lot to understand from the Grand Canyon. It's the power of time and persistence. And I'm going to talk about that, but not right now. Have a great evening, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.